Now that the tank is settled and I have a few more plants which I acquired at my local pet store, and a few from my 75-gallon tank, which isn't doing the greatest. A fellow YouTuber recommended that I continue to use highlighting for the tank with the CO2, mainly for the sake of the red plants. But I've found that the ephemeral type of algae that one often gets with a new setup has been very tenacious and grows like a weed, covering everything. For quite some time. Also recently added jungle vallisonera, and that plant did not make it for the most part. I think there were a few that are still surviving, but in the presence of so many desiccated plants, I added probably half a 5-gallon bucket full of jungle val, and at least 90% of it desiccated. And so I've spent a lot of time removing desiccated plant material and excess compost from the surface of the coal slag, and hope that the plants will begin to outcompete algae for nutrients, and that fuzzy brown algae that is covering everything will die off. In the meantime, I decided to go ahead and remove the 2 smaller LED lights for now. I want to get the algae under control before I try again with the highlighting and perhaps some Ludwigia repens and or AR will benefit from a higher light and the CO2, but I want to get the algae under control first. With these various small plants, frankly, I have a deal with the local pet store. I like to groom their store cat, and I'm the only person who does this. And Hank is quite happy to see me on Sundays. I go when they first open the store, so he's not too anxious from puppy dogs and customers bothering him during the shift. He's pretty friendly at the start of the shift. So I take him into the grooming salon and brush him, and he really appreciates that. Sometimes he'll stay for 15 minutes, other times after 30 seconds a noise will induce him to jump off the table, and well, we're done for the day. But anyway, I groom their company cat, and the store allows me to go ahead and take whatever plants come loose from the bunches of plants they sell and are floating on the surface of the plant tank. So on Sundays I spend a few minutes collecting those as well and soak them in alum solution if they can tolerate it. Bacopa caroliniana cannot, and so I simply take a magnifying glass and examine it carefully to ensure there are no pest snail eggs attached before adding it to my tanks. I've largely been able to get pest snails under control. There are a few bladder snails in my 29-gallon tank, and unfortunately the 75-gallon tank I have, which is not injected with CO2, is infested with Malaysian trumpet snails. The shells of those collect about the edges, and I use a siphon to remove the shells, and after rinsing it of debris, I simply return the black diamond blasting grit, which is coal slag, to the tank. This AR won't stay red for long, but perhaps it'll do alright. Now I'm not sure what this plant is. I thought it might be dwarf Sagittaria, but it has a few red leaves on it. I'm not sure if that's some sort of microsword or what that is, but it was floating loose, so the store has decided I'm welcome to it. Not too bad. The planted tank is coming along.